I'm Dr. Stephen Weiner, a facial plastic surgeon, and my clinic is in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Ethan was after me for several years, trying to get me to convert over to the Sylfirm X. And I was very happy with my previous RF Microneedling device, but he finally convinced me to give it a try. And after giving it a try, I was very surprised about how pain-free it was. And then I really embraced it and adopted it, and my patients seemed to love it as well. So then I became an advocate for Sylfirm X, and Ethan says, well, why don't you come to Korea and share your experience with Sylfirm X and all your experience with RF microneedling. I have a lot of papers, a lot of book chapters written about RF microneedling, so yeah, he was really excited when I did adopt the Sylfirm X. We know a lot of the little idiosyncrasies and how to treat these very complex problems, and I showed how you can treat actually hypopigmentation with the Sylfirm X, as well as alopecia. And I even wrote a paper about hyperhidrosis, and not many people talk about that, and how you can treat excessive sweating in the underarms with the Sylfirm X. It's very easy, and you get long-term results, so you don't have to get repeated injections with toxin. So they also were interested in how I treated the neck and what were the settings for the neck and what were the settings for the hypopigmentation. I'm a believer in exosomes, and I actually have been using exosomes for about a year. And again, it's kind of the same thing. I was using another branded exosome, which I do like. But now that I've been introduced to the ExoCoBio and all their research and their huge facility and the tons of dedication they have to present exosomes to the world and the amount of adopters using the ExoCoBio, I'm really going to start using it more. I do a lot of cases where there's something called Elicor, where you actually take little small tissue samples out of the skin to cause skin tightening. It's a little more aggressive than RF microneedling. And those patients have much larger wounds. And I did use the ExoCoBio exosomes, the BENEV exosomes, the samples I had. And those patients healed up much faster than the company was used to. And they said, what are you doing differently? And I said, well, I'm using these exosomes immediately afterwards, and now they're starting to adopt it for all their patients. They're recommending it, the trainers are recommending it. The key about the ExoCoBio exosomes is that they're sterile, and we have very large wounds, and I don't want to put unsterile material in these large wounds. So that's why I'm going to start using it on all those patients.